Good morning all. Today we are going to see software testing unit 1 session 16. In the previous topic we have completed all the process models. We have studied the process models like waterfall model, prototyping model, rapid application development model, incremental model, spiral model, V model. So any one of these process models you are going to use for developing your software projects. And we also seen how to select the process models for your software projects. There are many ways to select the process model for your software projects, that is based on the what type of requirements your software product has and what type of project it is and how much lengthy it is, smaller. Based on that, what type of risk are involved in that software project and what type of users are going to use that software project. Based on these all things, you are going to select the process model which is best for your software project. So in today's topic, we are going to study a new topic, that is white box testing. This white box testing is also a very important part of a software testing. Now let us understand what is this white box testing. White box testing is like the work of a mechanic who examines the engine to see why the car is not moving. Yes, see what is the work of the mechanic. So whenever any car comes to near the mechanic, okay, he checks out why that car is not working and all. Same way, here is the work of the white box tester. Mostly this white box testing is carried out by developers or the programmers, okay, who knows properly why and who can check out why the code is not working, why that logic is not working, where to make the changes and how to make it working. This all knowledge the programmer, the software developer will be having. So mostly who can conduct this white box testing? Mostly the best tester is the programmer, the software developer, the coder who has written the coding and who can find out the errors in that coding and make that functionality working. Next, testing the internal program logic. User require the knowledge of software code. Okay, if you want to carry out this white box testing, you should have the knowledge about the software code, how the particular software work and what type of logic is applied, how that logic was. This knowledge is necessary to conduct this white box testing. It is also called as clear box, open box, structural and glass box testing. Tests are based on coverage of code statements, branches, paths and conditions. Here you are going to test each statement which are written in that coding, all branches which are written in that coding, all paths and conditions which are written for that particular functionality and how these all together work. This you are going to test exactly in this white box testing to make that functionality work. Purpose. So testing logical errors. So writing proper logic is very important here. There are many ways to write the logic. There are shortcut ways of writing the logic. You may also write the logic in a very long way. So which is the best suitable for that particular functionality? Which logic is good to fulfill that particular requirement? Testing incorrect assumptions. So incorrect assumptions is, so you're going to assume and you're going to write the code, and if there are some wrong inputs, so how your code should behave, that all you're going to assume and that you're going to test here. Testing all loops, you're going to test all loops, that is the branches. So unless you test the loops, now suppose the loop repeats for 5 times, so you need to test for all 5 times because different inputs it is going to take. So how the loop behaves during these 5 times repetitions, okay, that will be understood only when you test that loop. Testing basis paths. So if you take the conditions and all, there are so many paths available. For every input, different paths are available. So unless you test that each path, you will not come to know that there is an error in that particular path. So it is very necessary to test. Testing conditional statements. When you are writing the program logic, what you do, you combine more than one conditions in a single statement using the AND or statements. You can use AND operator, OR operator, exclusive OR. So these all statements you use while writing the conditions in a single statement. So how each condition behaves for different inputs, whether it is a valid input or whether it is an invalid input. So these all things you will understand how your code is working, how your code is behaving. So these all things you'll understand only when you test this by providing the different inputs. This is what the programmer and a developer has to test inside a white box testing. Testing data structures. Data structure is nothing but what input you are going to supply, what type of data you are going to give to the particular loops, paths, conditional statements, and etc. So proper data input selection is important here, because what type of data input you select, based on that it is going to show you the result. So you have to select such input that which are valid as well as invalid, so that your functionality does not fail. White box testing is primarily used during unit testing. So when you come to during the unit testing, that time a code is divided into different units, small units. So each units you are going to take and you are going to test it. That unit can be a block of conditional statement, it can be a block of looping, or it can be a block of function, any function. Unit testing is usually performed by the engineer who wrote the code. Okay, so who has written that code will be having the best knowledge. Okay, so how he has written the code, what logic he has applied. So he is the best person to test that unit testing, who has written that code. In rare cases, an independent tester might do unit testing on your code, or you may tell other person to, or independent tester, to perform the testing on your coding. White box testing is divided into two types, that is static testing and structural testing. So this whole side process is a verification process, and this whole side process is a validation process. So as we have already seen in the previous topic, what is the difference between verification and validation, or quality assurance or quality control. So this side process, static testing, it is a verification process, whereas this structural testing is a validation process. So first we'll see what is this static testing. So under the static testing, again we have three methods here: desk checking, code walkthrough, and code inspection. So let us understand one by one. Static testing does verification process. So this static testing is nothing but you're going to, whatever you have gathered, what information you have gathered, whatever the coding you have written, whatever the specification you have gathered, okay, which type of documents you have prepared, okay, these are correct or no, that you are going to verify before you start developing it. Okay, so you are going to conduct the meeting, there you are going to demonstrate this all the details, whatever you have done regarding the project before you start implementing it. So testing is done without executing the program, testing done before compilation. So no any execution is involved here, just whatever you have done, whether it is correct or no, and whether it is according to the client expectations or no, all your documents are correct or no, and that you are going to demonstrate to multiple peoples in this. rely on humans reading the program code to detect errors rather than computers executing the code to find errors. So you're not going to execute here any code and all. Just you're going to read out, you're going to evaluate that program code, whatever is written, and that program code meets the client expectation, meets the specification requirements, and you're going to make reading through multiple peoples from the organization. Some of the things tested by static testing. So exactly what is tested under this? Whether the code works according to the functional requirement. Okay. So whatever the code here written, whether it is meeting each requirement or no, that will be verified before executing or implementing. Whether the code has written in accordance with the design developed earlier in the project life cycle. So whatever the code has written, whether it is meeting the design, based on the designing also you are going to write the coding. Okay, in the design phase you are using some specific interface, and whether that code suits for that particular interface or no, that designing or no, that is also very important to test it, to verify that. Whether the code follows all applicable standards. So when you are writing the code, you need to follow the particular standards. It should be according to the proper format, and whatever the documents you have written, specification, it is according to that standard or no. Whether the code for any functionality has been missed out. So by this verification process, you'll understand that, you'll come to know that whether any of the requirement functionality you have written the coding or no, whether any functionality you have missed out. So before implementing, you'll come to know that. Whether the code handles errors properly. So by observing the code, you'll understand that how it is that particular code is going to perform for valid input and invalid input. Whether all errors which occurs, it should handle properly. Before implementing, you'll understand this. So before implementing the software or before executing it, most of the errors you can minimize here. Most of the errors you will reduce here by this verification process. Most of the errors will be reduced, will be prevented it by occurring it. Advantages: humans can find errors that computers cannot. Obviously, the humans have written the code. It is their own code. They are the best person to find the errors like logical errors or some of the syntax errors. So they are the best to find out what is missing in that coding, which the computers may not find out. Sometimes the computers cannot find out the logical errors and all. By making multiple humans read and evaluate the program. So multiple human beings are reading that coding before executing it. Okay, as I told you, a meeting will be conducted. It will be demonstrated in front of every team members, and it is checked with requirement specification, designing specification, where a lot of errors can be reduced and find out. A human evaluation of the code can compare it against the specification or design. Okay, from this you will understand that whether each expectations of the client, whether each requirement, each functionality has been written in that coding or no, and included in the designing or no. You will understand that. Making humans test the code before execution, computer resources can be saved. Yes. One more. This is a verification process without using the computers, and so computer resources can be saved here. So it is a verification method of testing, that is quality assurance. So this code, the process will be passing through many number of people size. So a lot of errors can be find out here in this static testing. So in today's topic, we have seen what is white box testing, what is the importance of white box testing, and we also studied what is static testing. So in the next topic, we'll see the other type of white box testing. Thank you.